he gets a fix. So you already know that the tear is a special type of tear, right? There's only certain tears we can fix. Some of these baseball players, football players, they get tears that are kind of just trashed meniscus, and you can't fix those, right? Probably not a root tear, probably not one of the more complex radial tears we talked about. He would have been out for a lot longer, 5-6 months. So I'm reading between the lines, right? He had a tear of the meniscus, and you guys see here medial or lateral. Generally, they're medial, but I don't know which side his was. Medial means it's on the inside of the knee. You can see there, and then usually it's around the capsule. So the meniscus has blood supply in 3 zones. White, which means there's no blood supply. Those almost always get removed. Middle, which is red, white. Occasionally we fix those, and we're starting to push the envelope on fixing those, which we've talked about on previous episodes. And younger patients, we fix them more.
Yeah.
And then red, which is right next to the blood supply. Those you want to fix as much as possible, because if you don't fix it, you remove a lot of meniscus. And we've seen already, we've talked about this a number of times on this show, that removing that much meniscus is not good for people. If you have to do it, people ask, like, in their 50s, like, you're removing my meniscus, why are you doing that? Well, I can't fix it then, right? It doesn't heal the same as it does in someone like Mike Trout, who's still young, active and healthy. And really the meniscus under, 40, 30 years old, we just want to fix as many as we can.
He's 32 years old, just to kind of give you the age group. He turns
so 32 years old.
In fact, I think it's almost his birthday, August 7th, 33 years old.
Unfortunately, happy birthday to him. So anyhow, so basically he gets this fixed, and it's probably a capsular tear. He probably gets it fixed. There's different ways of doing this, right? There's stitches. You can do stitches from just 2 little poke holes. He can have a bunch of stitches in his knee, and someone catches him out the back and you tie him in this back. And that's kind of like the more aggressive kind of gold standard method. So what happens is he gets that done, and he gets his 3-month recovery. That's what makes me assume it was probably one of those, right? Because it's only 3 months.
Yeah.
He starts running on it. He gets a clean MRI. The problem you have with the MRIs on these meniscus is you can't. I've been on my own meniscus, and sometimes you think the MRIs are clean, or you go in there for another reason, right? You rescope their knee because they're having some other issue, or like a year or 2 later, something else gets hurt, right? And you rescope them. And then you go in there and you see like your meniscus repair is like mostly healed. There's still the stitches in there, but there's a line like where it, like, imagine like your meniscus tear is like a full slit, right? It's the whole thickness of my fingers. Only like this much healed, right? So you still have a layer that's a tear on the top. Yeah. But on the MRI, it looks like it's a full connected repair. Because what happens is scar tissue is really hard to pick up on these MRIs sometimes. So they always say, like, some of the reports, like I look at the MRIs myself, but the reports say possible tear, but maybe due to surgery. So it may just be healing, because people always want to know, did it heal? So they think it healed. They let him go back out and he re-tears it, or he ripped through the stitches. And that's what I think happened. The stitches we place, you place they're stress risers. And if it doesn't heal, those stitches are now holes in the meniscus and they can tug on them. And to be honest with you, I've had this happen to me. I do a lot of meniscus repairs, and every once in a while you get in and the meniscus didn't heal. And now you've got this sort of rope in the meniscus. And if it doesn't heal and just scar in, it can act as like a knife and it can cut through. It's not anybody's fault. It's just the fact it didn't heal. And now he created a new tear.
So
and that's why it was a separate area.
I